well-wishers, and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. Today we are going to cover part 2 of Act 3 Scene 1 of Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. So grab your virtual seats and let's begin. Act 3 Scene 1 takes place before the Capitol. The scene now continues where Mark Antony enters and he is welcomed by Brutus. Antony now sees the dead body of Julius Caesar and he says, "O mighty Caesar, you lie so low over here. All the gains, the glories, the victories, the titles that you had won have all been reduced to this little space that your body takes now. Goodbye." And now he turns towards the other people like Brutus and he says that I don't know what your intentions are and who else is required to shed blood, but if you want me to be killed, I would choose to die at the same hour as Brutus had died, and no instruments could be more worthy of killing me than your swords, because currently they are smeared with the blood of Julius Caesar. I request you that if you have any hard feelings against me, use your red hands and kill me with the blood of Caesar. Carry out your wishes. And then he says that if I live 1,000 years, I shall never find myself more ready for death. I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so. No mean of death, that is, I shall never find myself more ready for death. No other place will be as fit for me as is this place where I can lie beside Caesar in death and be killed by you. Brutus says, "O Antony, do not ask for death from us, though now we must appear bloody and cruel because we have just killed Julius Caesar and our hands are stained with blood, and the deed we have done, that doesn't mean that it is you who are next. You cannot see the motives of our hearts and they are full of pity. It is pity for the public wrongs of Rome which has made us commit this murder of Julius Caesar. For fire puts out fire, so has that pity put out the pity we had for him." He says that, we couldn't see the fact that honor of Rome was getting compromised, and that is why we had to take this step. But as concerns you, our swords are as harmless as if made of lead, Mark Antony. Our arms strong in their in-feeling to Caesar, and our hearts full of brotherly love for our friends, welcome you with kind love, good thoughts and respect. We have nothing against you. We killed Caesar. If you go deep into our hearts, you will know why. Cassius at this time says that your voice or your opinion shall be as influential as any man's in making new dignities or new appointments or in making new decisions in the future. So they are trying to gradually lure Mark Antony to their side. Brutus then goes on to say that only be patient till we have calmed the multitude now. That is, the people are in great fear now and they need to be calmed. So till then, you also have patience, and then we will explain to you what were the causes that made me, who loved Caesar so dearly, commit this act. Antony says that, "And I do not doubt your wise judgment. Let each man give me his blood-stained hand. First, Marcus Brutus, I shake hands with you. Next, do I take your hand, Caius Cassius?" Now Decius Brutus, and then he goes on and he shakes hand with everyone. Then last, though not the least in my love for him, good Trebonius. Gentlemen, what am I to say? My credit with you is now a difficult dilemma, for you must form one or other of two bad opinions of me. So basically over here Antony is saying that how can my opinion matter? You will think I am either a coward or I am trying to flatter you. He's saying that it is true that I loved you and I loved Caesar also, but the fact that I see Caesar's death in front of me, it makes me feel very, very sad. O noble one, in the presence of your dead body, had I as many eyes as you have wounds, as if they were shedding tears as fast as your wounds shed blood. That would be more proper for me than just to be entering into friendship with your enemies. So, Antony is not liking the fact that he is having to join alliances with Brutus and the people who killed Julius Caesar, but he has no other option. He says, "Pardon me, Julius. Here you turned at bay like a noble deer, and here were you slain or you were killed, and here stand your hunters, that is your murderers, and they are bearing the marks of your death. They are red with your blood." Then he goes on to say, "Oh, the whole world was the forest of his deer, and you were the heart of the world. How like a deer which has been killed by many princes, you look as you lie here." That one man has been killed multiple times. He has got multiple attacks from people, and still Antony has no option but to be over here. So you see how Mark Antony's speech continues over here as well, and then Cassius says, "Oh, Mark Antony." Antony says, "Pardon me, Cassius, the enemies of Caesar shall say this then in a friend. It is cold modesty." He's saying that even the enemies of Caesar will say what I am saying right now, and I am just a friend of Caesar, so of course I am feeling bad with what has happened. Cassius at this time says that, "And I do not blame you for praising Caesar so much, but what bargain do you mean to make with us? What is your intention of coming here? Do you want to proceed alone, or do you want our help?" Antony says that, "It is with that purpose that I took your hands, but I was led away from my point by looking down on Caesar. I am friends with you all and I love all of you, but I have hope that you will give me your reasons for having considered Caesar to be so dangerous that you went to the extent of killing him." Brutus says that if we had not killed Julius Caesar, it would have been a savage sight. Our reasons are full of strong arguments that even if you were Caesar's son, you would be satisfied with the reasons we have for killing Caesar. Antony says that that is all I ask. I also wish to ask permission to show his body in the marketplace and on the platform as is fitting for a friend. I would like to speak a few words for his funeral. Brutus says that yes, you can go ahead with that, Mark Antony. Cassius at this time says that, "Brutus, I want to talk to you." So then he takes Brutus aside and he says that you do not know what you are doing. Don't give the permission to Antony to speak at Caesar's funeral. Do you know how much people may be affected by what he says? Because Antony still had more inclination towards Caesar. So it might happen that Antony's speech might sway the loyalty of people towards Antony and not towards Brutus and the people. Brutus then tells to Cassius that, "If you will excuse me, I shall myself go into the pulpit first and explain the reasons for the death of Caesar. I shall say that whatever Antony speaks is by our permission, and that we are satisfied that Caesar should have the proper rites and correct ceremonies. This will favor us rather than do us harm." So Brutus says that don't worry, first we will go and I will speak about what are the reasons for killing Julius Caesar, and then I'm going to ask Antony to come and speak a few words. Cassius then says that, "I do not know what may happen. I don't like this idea too much." Brutus then goes on to say that, "Mark Antony, here you may take Caesar's body. You must not in your funeral speech put blame on us in any way, but you may speak as much good as you want about Caesar and say that you do it by our permission. That is, we have given you permission to speak at Caesar's funeral, and you cannot blame us for why we killed Julius Caesar. Otherwise, you will not have any part in his funeral at all. You shall speak on the same platform to which I am going after my speech is over." So Brutus explains the whole thing to Antony. Antony says, "Okay, fine, be it so. I do desire no more," because Antony is already scared that he might also be killed at any time. So his hands are tied over here. Brutus then says, "Prepare the body then and follow us." All but Antony exit. Now, this is another important speech of Mark Antony. He says, "Oh, pardon me, you bleeding piece of earth, for having been meek and gentle with your murderers. You are ruined remains of the noblest man that ever lived on earth." So, he's addressing Julius Caesar's body and saying all this. He's saying that, "Cursed be the hands that shed your precious blood. Over your wounds now do I prophesy, as they open themselves red-edged like dumb mouths to beg my tongue to speak on their side. I prophesy that a curse shall fall on the limbs of men." He's saying that these people are trying to, divert their attention towards them. They want me to be on their side, but I wish that nothing good ever happens with them. There shall be anger at home, and civil war shall happen everywhere in Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so frequent, and dreadful objects be so familiar, that mothers will hardly be able to smile when they will see their children cut up by the cruel hands of soldiers. All pity shall die, as foul deeds become the general custom in Rome. The spirit of Julius Caesar, hunting for revenge with the rash goddess Ate by his side, just come from hell, shall in our boundaries with a mighty voice cry destruction and let loose the horrors of war. He is saying all this, that these are the things that will happen now. Even though I may not be able to publicly show my inclination towards you, but because these people have killed you, there are dreadful acts which are going to be committed. It's going to become a warlike situation. Children are going to die, and nothing good will happen. This foul deed of killing you shall spread evil all over the earth, and there are going to be bodies of men which are going to rot and urgently need burial. At this time, Octavius' servant enters and he says, "You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?" The servant says that, "Yes, I serve Octavius Caesar." Antony says that Caesar had written to him to come to Rome. Servant says, "Octavius did receive the letter, and he is going to be coming over here, and he has ordered me to say it to you verbally." Then he sees the body of Julius Caesar and says, "Oh Caesar." Antony at this time says, "Your heart is full of emotion. Draw aside and cry. Don't cry over here. Passion I see is infectious for my eyes. Seeing drops of water or tears in your eyes, even I feel like crying. Is master coming?" The servant says that he lies tonight within 7 leagues of Rome. That is tonight he is going to take rest within 20 miles of Rome, and by tomorrow he shall be here. At this time, Antony says, "Travel back to him speedily and tell him whatever has happened over here. Rome is a place of mourning, a place of danger. There is no safety here for Octavius yet. Go off and tell him so. Yet wait a little. You shall not go back till I have carried this corpse into the marketplace. There I shall try in my speech to tell the people about the cruel action of these bloody men, and according to what happens, you can accordingly go and inform Octavius of all the events that occur over here, and give me your helping hand right now so that I can take the body of Julius Caesar to the marketplace." So they go carrying the body of Julius Caesar. So in total, we see in Act 3, Scene 1, the ultimate assassination of Julius Caesar. We then see Antony's manipulation of the situation, where he pretends that on the face he is on the side of Brutus, while he is secretly planning to tell people against the conspirators. So the power struggle within the Roman leadership is evident over here. The scene also raises questions about honor and loyalty, particularly in the context of political ambition and personal alliances. Brutus is struggling with his conscience and his sense of duty to Rome. He ultimately chooses what he believes is the best course of action for the Roman Republic, even if it means betraying and killing his friend Caesar. The aftermath of Caesar's assassination or murder sets the stage for further conflict, chaos and confusion in Rome, because we are going to see how there is going to be manipulation of public opinion. Antony's skillful speech at Caesar's funeral is going to have the power to shape public opinion. So the scene highlights how leaders, for the sake of their own personal ambition, can reshape and manipulate the opinion of the public. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.